everyone. We are doing a follow-up to a very popular video that y'all had more comments to add to.
10 complaints RV park managers have about campers, and we got this from rvtravel.com, and this is a follow-up to that video, like Lori just said, because there were so many comments. I wanted to go back over some of these things and let you know who said what about what. And we're going to jump right into it. If you haven't seen that video and you want to go watch it, we will link it below in the description. You can go watch that one first, then follow up with this one, since it's the follow-up. see how we made that work out like that? Our buddies Grassroots Living said that they had friends working as camp hosts who said that they had campers in a Class A who couldn't extend their slide, so instead of moving the RV, they actually cut down a 15-foot tree.
Oh my God.
And they also said loud gas generators are a problem. One guy brought one of those commercial grade generators, you know, the sides are all open. It's a 15,000 commercial grade generator.
Oh my gosh.
And it was very loud. He had it on until 10:30 p.m. And they said that they finally had to go by and let him know that generators weren't allowed after 10 o'clock. Wow. And then they've got a third one. They said that the final thing they could think of was when a guy disconnected the water hose off of their trailer.
Oh yeah, he told us about this when we were
to fill his fresh water tank. So they did say that 99.99% of most campers are great, though.
Yeah, he told us about that, where a guy came to their host site, disconnected the water hose from their trailer, and hooked it up to his so he could get water. Yeah, used the Grassy's actual, their own personal hose. Yeah, I would have... Dean was way too kind on that one.
Another comment came from RV America. They first said, great job on the video. And they said, those are about the same that some RVers have about a few other RVers. We just got to remember to respect each other, which is a pretty good rule of thumb.
Right. Yeah, it's not just about what the camp hosts or campground managers have issues with. It's camper and camper, too.
It really is. Our friend from Idaho, Darwin, said extra loud generators. He just doesn't understand why campers buy a cheap generator. That just and you know, it's the construction ones. They're the ones that are open all the way aside. They're not enclosed. The enclosed ones really are quiet for the most part.
Yeah.
They really, really are. Linda Gross said that another one is someone trespassing through someone else's campsite. You know, the cut-throughs?
Oh,
you know
what
we're talking about?
Yeah. That's just not cool. That's like trespassing through somebody's yard. You know, cutting through somebody's yard. They're paying rent for that space. That's their yard.
Something else, not just where we are now, but a couple other camp places that we have been, and we've been camp hosts, so we go through and we rake the sites. And what irritated us were people driving through the sites, walking through the sites that were unoccupied, because we've been through there and raked them, make them look pristine. Then there's footprints and doggy prints and tire tracks.
Yeah, you think no big deal, but you don't hear all the praises or that people really like when they pull up to a site. It's clean and raked nice and it looks good. You know, as camp hosts, we heard, you know, gratitude for that a lot. So you may walk through a site or drive through one and think, well, nobody's there, it doesn't make any difference. But it does.
It's crazy. Full-Time Dream commented, why can't people just be courteous when they camp? Maybe they should have a camping license and people have to learn the rules and take a test. Or you can't be a camper.
Can you imagine? I mean, come on, there's enough rules and everything out there as it is. But it's a good point.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, people should have to take courses to become parents. That's not going to happen, but...
Two old farts in an RV said walking through someone's site. That's really a bad one. We just went over that. Barbara Smith, our friend Barbara, says, Great advice. In their short traveling experience, they've already witnessed some of those examples. And basically, in today's times, you need common sense, and fewer people have it.
That's true. Very true.
It's Me says the best way to stop all that is to have zero tolerance, period. Take a pic of their license plate, send a bill to their home, make them pay a $500 fine, add points to their license, like they got a ticket or something like that, just
Yeah,
like
for some
towns do
things.
for speeding.
For some things like pets off leash or leaving your fire unattended, those are kind of some serious things, or speeding in a campground.
She says it might not stop them, but it will sure make us have a nicer day. Whoa, Nellie, this is pretty good. She suspects that most of the people watching this are courteous people, but there are a few rotten apples, and she was thinking leaving trash in the campsite would have been number one.
Oh, yeah,
That's Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one, where people think that the fire pit is just a garbage can.
Yeah.
And not everything burns.
Sweet Life RVing commented, in your opinion, what are some of the rules like dogs off leash or parking on grass areas not enforced? She says, or they said, is it because campgrounds are afraid they might get bad reviews if they really try to enforce these rules? The park management or rangers or camp hosts are afraid of retaliation from a camper?
I was.
She wanted to know, and at one point where we camp hosted up in Truckee, California, she got threatened by a camper.
Just because I asked them to put blocks underneath their jacks.
You're not supposed
That's in
to
the
have your
rules.
jacks on the blacktop, because in the summer it gets warm enough and, it makes indentions, and she went and asked them, can you put blocks underneath your jacks? And they threatened her.
Yeah. Yeah, they came back and were very, very violently rude.
RB Vacationer says basically they agree with 100% of the list of items that we had. Every camper should leave the site better than it was for the next family. And we have to agree with that. You really do. You just pick it
Yeah.
up. Even if you're in a regular structured campground, make it look nice and pristine before you leave. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. At least just take all your garbage with you, and don't leave cigarette butts and bottle caps and stuff around. It's not that difficult.
Alan Burke said, great job, guys. A lot of people just don't think sometimes.
And I think that's it too.
It's just
and
crazy.
We mentioned this in the other video, that the worst campers were those 3 holidays. The holiday campers. That they're the worst because that's the only time they get out all year. Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. So they're just out there to have a good time. They don't care.
Okay, put your seatbelt on.
Oh my goodness.
Our buddies,
Oh.
Scenic Driveways, Joanne and JT, they've been camp hosting.
Yes, they have.
They are camp hosting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from JT. It says, read the campground rules and follow them. Don't lock your dog in the RV and then take off for the day, leaving your dog to bark its head off all day long, disturbing the rest of the campers. If you can't afford to stay at a campground, then don't. You wouldn't believe the excuses some people use to try to get a discount and compensation, or try to get their site for free. Don't wash your dishes in the bathroom sinks.
Ew, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Yuck.
Don't poop in the campground showers. You'd think this is a no-brainer, but they've actually had people poop in the showers.
We did too.
We
in
actually did
Oregon.
in Oregon.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
And other things that we won't get into.
Oh yeah, some of the stuff we found in there was
Oh.
like, oh my gosh. Don't leave your outside lights on all night because they shine in your neighbor's window. Common sense. Again, that's it. Play your music just loud enough for you to hear it, but not loud enough for your neighbors to hear it. It's a campground, not a concert. Some people like to relax and read. Others just enjoy quiet time. Not everybody likes your music. If you have an accident and spill something at the dump station, hose it down the drain. Don't leave it there in a pile.
Isn't that sad that you have to even express that? It should be, oh my gosh, I need to get this cleaned up.
Don't play sports in between RV sites or around other people's RVs. This is how windows get broken and things get damaged. And last but not least, JT said, read the signs when you enter a campground and park where it is you're asked to park. You wouldn't believe how many people arrive, park right in the center of the driveway and block all traffic, entering and exiting while they go in and register. Just crazy. Okay, so Joanne says, This echoed all my pet peeves to add to the dogs running around. People, do not walk your dog in empty sites. This goes back to having someone clean the site for the next guest, and we just talked about that.
Yeah.
Most campgrounds actually have a dog park that you can walk your dog along the campground roads without having to take them to empty sites. And for the love of humanity, teach your children to be quieter at night because of close proximity to neighbors. Not everyone stays up as late as you. Don't let them run in and out of the RV slamming that door every 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. I get that. I hear that in campgrounds where we are now from adults.
Oh, yeah.
In and
Slam,
out, in and
slam,
out, slam, slam, slam. It's just crazy. Don't use tables at empty sites. Again, the site's pristine, waiting for the next guest. You go use a table and then leave your trash right there.
And not only that, right now, like she was saying, this past summer, with all of the COVID virus stuff, they had to sanitize all the tables. So if somebody goes there, the camp host has to go back and clean that after somebody that didn't pay for that site. So that gets frustrating.
Roy Davis says stealth camping complaints could be about the people on the city streets and parking lots not paying for a site. He said he knows of campground owners associations that pressured local governments to pass ordinances against it for that reason. He used to work for a private security at a campground for event weekends, and he says he had to call the sheriff's department and had loud, drunken people removed. Just amazing.
Yeah, poaching and stealth camping, meaning that people will come in late at night, use the site, and then leave early in the morning before anybody catches them.
Yep, exactly.
So it's been called both.
Opa and Oma have been camp hosting on and off. You know, they do some, then they take times off, then they do some, take some time off. And they said that they're subscribers to RV Travel too. Stealth camping is what Lori said, and people that sneak in after hours and leave before daylight. And then also they tagged it with baby diapers don't burn. Yuck.
Yep, we found Oregon was just a nightmare.
It was crazy in Oregon.
Yeah, the things that we found in the fire pits.
People would throw some stuff away in that fire pit that and the restrooms. Oh my gosh. Ask me about it sometime. I'll tell you personally. I'm not going to put it out here. YouTube has restrictions on things.
Oh gosh.
Mike at MJ said that there are lots of complaints they have for national forest camping because people always leave crap and trash around, and you should leave no trace.
Yeah, so a lot of these complaints that had to do with campgrounds and RV parks also go into the national parks. And they don't have national forests. They don't necessarily have camp hosts there to go clean up after you.
Kevin Loving just says, most of this can just be summed up as a lack of common sense and common courtesy. He says, we're living in a time when there's a real shortage of self-control and courtesy, a very selfish culture. It's what we've turned into.
Yep, me. That's why the holiday campers are so bad, because it's like, well, this is my time to be out here and do whatever the heck I want.
It's just crazy. And finally, Gene Decker just said that we camp next to RVers, again, who strung lights up around their RV and left them on all night long. And I know that some people do that to try to keep the varmints out from underneath their RV at night. You know, they don't want mice, they don't want whatever, wherever they are.
But the underneath is one thing, but when it's actually up high and coming into your...
That's true, but a lot of the underneath lights are still bright. And some of them have flashers.
Yeah, if they're flashing, that's annoying.
It's like, if you're going to flash, do it right. Like, hello! Just crazy stuff, all right?
So those are all your comments to our first video about the top 10 complaints from
RV park managers and campground hosts about campers. And everybody keeps saying we should do one, complaints from campers about other campers. Which is a whole nother video. Yeah. Holy cow. So that's it. That's our follow-up. We hope you enjoyed it. We just wanted to get back with some of you that commented, and maybe it'll even generate more comments on this one, because this is a hot topic.
Yes, it is.
If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, or 2, or 3 if you can. Vote more than once. We don't care.
No. You can't do more than one thumbs up.
Okay. Sorry about that.
If you hit it again, I think it takes it off of there.
Okay.
Once is great.
Make sure if you're new passing by, click the subscribe button and the bell. Get notified every time we put up a brand new video, which we do every Saturday. We call it Saturday Coffee Chat. And then during the week, we either put up a surprise Wednesday or a throw up Thursday.
Yep.
All right?
So thank you all for joining us again. See ya.
See ya.
Life is short, make it sweet.
Can you even see the tree in the background?
You see the trunk of the
Oh,
tree?
that's it?
Yeah, I can tilt it up a little
No,
bit.
that's good, because I'd rather have us than just a head. I don't want just our heads. I need our bodies in this.
There we go. We can see the bottom of the tree.
Okay.
We're like waist up.
Okay.
You want us to be just talking heads?
No.